tell your body to do that.
Okay.
You don't have to
Yeah.
take a pill or anything to stop it from happening. So yeah, I'm just on that path, but I do enjoy history. So when I was a child, I decided to go to like just history school. I didn't study any other subjects, just history that I was interested in. So like once a week, like maybe twice in a month. Everything seems to go on the lunar calendar like a month.
Yeah.
So like twice a month I would go to history school, and that's like in the museum in the city, and I would just learn about history, but there's no exams, there's no tests. I didn't have to learn it. I could go or stop whenever I wanted to go.
Sure. Yeah.
There was no had to go till I was 18. There's nothing like that. Sometimes children just want to go and have a look. They go one time, or you could keep going. You can go to history school at any age. So even if you were old, you could still go to history school class, and they're at certain times, and people just turn up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't do anything with that. I don't want to work in the history school.
Yeah.
I just liked to go when I was younger, and sometimes I do go because I like learning about the history of the earth and what we did wrong as to what we're doing right now.
Is there any different looking humans? Are there races or anything like that?
Yeah. Everybody's different. Everybody's like really good looking. There's no obesity.
Yeah.
Everybody's very healthy. People are different shapes and sizes in terms of height and like shoulder breadth, and you know, like women have different boob sizes and stuff still,
Yeah.
but everybody's pretty much aesthetically really good looking, and there's still like red hair, black hair, brown skin. There's a lot of it's been intermixed.
Yeah.
So there's not really like a white race and a black race anymore.
Oh, I see.
It's all over evolution. It's all been mixed.
Yeah.
But a lot of like the Chinese race, they left.
Okay.
They left that area thousands of years ago because of the dirt and the way that they still have factories and old-fashioned stuff. The people that live in that area now, there's only about 10,000 humans there in the dirty place. There's no name for it. It's in the area of China, but everybody just calls it the dirty place.
I see.
And then all the other Chinese came, joined all the other places. So most people have Chinese in their genetics now.
Oh, I see.
Because there's like a mass migration. So yeah, everybody's pretty much, bred.
How many people are there in the world now?
I think about 1 billion. There's a lot more open space, natural forests. The population seems to just control itself. It never gets... It'll fluctuate between 2 billion and 1 billion, and it'll just go up and down like this. And when it seems like there's getting too many people where we're going to have a bad effect on the globe, we just decide not to have any more children for a while. Or less children, and everyone seems connected and seems to know.
I see.
There's like a consciousness that everyone's like tapped into, like an intuition intuition and telepathy is really strong in people, so there's no TV or news or anything. It's just like, say you'll be sitting around the table in the farm one evening and somebody be like, oh, I had a feeling about, I had a thought that the population's getting a bit big again. And everyone will be like, yeah, I felt that as well. Yeah, I was thinking that. And it's just like a thought that pops into your head. And usually you all get it at the same time. And then everybody just seems to make decisions based on those intuition, those little thoughts that you have sometimes. Everyone seems to follow them. And it just all seems to work out perfectly.
Is there anything in terms of medicines, or are they purely natural?
Herbs, plants. There's a lot of use of everything natural, so there's anaesthetic for operations. It's plants. Tinctures made from plants and herbs. Seems like a lot more fungi is used. Fungi and is used for a lot of things. There's still penicillin.
Yeah.
That's allowed to be used. There's no pharmaceutical chemical drugs anymore. They're not allowed to be used. And there's no law or rule, it's just everyone knows that they're bad. People are allowed to do recreational plant medicine.
Yeah.
People are allowed to do magic mushrooms if they feel they want to. But usually people do them when they're harvested at the right season.
Yeah.
People are allowed to make alcohol from their own crops. But people don't drink alcohol. People just drink alcohol when they've got toothache, or
I see.
If it's harvest time, there'll be a party.
Yeah.
People drink alcohol then, just for a dance and stuff. There's no abuse of alcohol, really. There might be a little bit, maybe. But a lot of people that would form an addiction to alcohol, they're taken into the hospices and they're healed by shamans. They're not shamans, but they're sort of like that. They'd be healed, and it doesn't last. Alcoholism doesn't last very long here.
No.
Yeah, everything's natural. And there's pretty much, we don't try and cure things. If there's disease, then we would look for the emotional root of the disease. They'd be taken to a hospice. The emotional root of that disease would be cleansed.
Yeah.
And then the disease would just naturally go away. The body's most people's bodies are perfectly healthy. So if there's any sign of disease, it's a message from your body, and that's how it's treated. But it's quite rare. I've never been ill. So I'm young. I'm about 45. I've already had 5 children.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have 20 more children.
Yeah.
Women can stay fertile till they're 100. But I've never been ill. Maybe I've had a cold kind of thing, once or twice. But other than that, I've never had any ailments of the body at all. Never had a rash, never seen a rash. Never. You hear about things, you hear about things that can go wrong with the body. And everybody's educated in it, but it's so rare.
Rare, yeah. Yeah. So what lessons do you think Becky could draw from how things are going to be?
I think that people on Earth, they don't need to worry about the now. Like, we're in this time, it's a process. You're in the dark ages, so to speak. You know, you're in the dark ages where you're being manipulated and there's evil that exists, but evolution goes upwards, not downwards, so it'll all work itself out. However, Becky really needs to remember what this human body feels like, what it can do, be more healthy, be more hydrated. Like, people think you need to drink like 2 litres of water a day. No, you need to drink so much more than that.
Yeah.
So much more.
Yeah.
Like, and get more water from fruits and natural things that you eat as well. And don't put anything in your water like chemicals or just water is fine. That's what the body wants. That's what the human body needs, is water. You could say that humans can drink 3-4 litres of water a day or more. And Becky needs to treat her vessel more kindly and just eat just natural things. I mean, the problem is on the earth at the moment that people are gearing up towards less cruelty. So mass farming is very cruel and very dark.
Yeah.
So yes, stay away from meat. But the problem is with the vegan movement is that there's still a lot of processed. There's mushed up stuff made in factories, salt, chemicals added to it, mushed up. That's no good for you. The body doesn't want that. So if you're gonna look after the body, it has to be organic beans, rice, flour, make your own bread. Some things aren't bad, like you say, like tomato ketchup is just like tomatoes and vinegar, that's fine.
Yeah.
We make a version of that now, but it's other things like processed, just anything processed. If you can't dig it out of the ground or pick it off a bush, don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Yeah.
It's not good for the body. It creates disease. It creates imbalance in the body. If you're going to drink coffee, buy organic beans, grind them yourself, make it that way. Milk is fine. Cow's milk is fine, actually. It's just a way of farming the cows without it being cruel that needs to be found.
Okay, yeah.
But it is natural for the human body to react well to cow's milk. In terms of healing, you know, Becky and other people would be like a bit about doing healing therapies, ayahuasca, things like that. They're perfect.
Yeah.
They cleanse the whole entire system. It's not, doesn't seem nice because you'll be vomiting, but you're vomiting all of the toxins that are in your body.
Got you. Yeah.
So it's perfect cleanse. There's also other medicines out there that you can use to cleanse your lymphatic system, cleanse, but like they will make you like diarrhea and vomit. That's the idea.
Yeah.
To expel dramatically the toxins. So there's plants out there humans will start finding them soon. There's other things. There's so many things that can cleanse the body. It's mainly just looking after the vessel, you know. Not putting crap inside of it. You know, if you want to eat biscuits, that's fine. But get some organic flour. Get some eggs from the local farm. Plain butter, you know, no processed stuff.
Yeah.
And just make them yourself so that you know there's no chemicals, there's no additives,
Sure.
there's no...
Yeah.
Because your body will just store up pockets of these additives, and that will be what causes cancer. There's chemicals in all of your tissues. All of your tissues are just filthy.
Yeah.
They're just chemicals. None of it's good. I mean, a lot of people take antibiotics when they don't need them to. There's natural cures for all infections. Yeah, I think Becky just needs to properly look after a vessel better. Because I can see now that if she doesn't learn this lesson in this lifetime, and also I can see now it's in her astrological birth chart, the 6th house, house of health. She needs to look at that, because there's a lot of things in her astrological chart that she can unlock and find in there.
Yeah.
Might need someone to help her, because it can be hard to understand astrology, but the lessons are in there about the body and about health, exercise, and if she learns the lesson about the body and about health, she can incarnate into this lovely life that I've just described.
Yeah.
We're perfectly healthy, perfectly aligned, everything's symbiotic, natural. If she doesn't learn the lesson about the body, she's going to carry some heavy karma about mistreatment. I mean, this physical vessel is a gift. It's actually a miracle. It's a scientific, biological machine. It's incredible, that houses the soul. You know, like, it could blow your mind what the body is.
Yeah.
You have to worship it and treat it like the gift that it is, and the amazing piece of biological machinery that it is. If you don't, if you abuse the body and just throw crap in it and don't respect it, and things like self-harm, biting your nails, bad habits, smoking, it's all degradation of the holy vessel. If she doesn't learn that, one of the incarnations next could be incredibly karmic in terms of the vessel. It could be going back in time and being a leper or diseased, having some kind of horrible disease, like having to relive the plague again or something, having to go into a future timeline where everybody is really obese and incredibly unhealthy. They've got no bone structure, and they've evolved to become like horrible blobs.
Yeah.
You know, and they just keep feeding all this chemicals and crap, and that would be a really unpleasant lifetime. But yeah, if she learns it, it'll be great. Be really good. She's got a lot of heavy karma involved with the vessel itself. You know, a lot of lifetimes where she's experienced abuse or, you know, injuries or not so much diseases, but just things that have made her have heavy karma with the body, you know, like rape and things like that. You can carry a lot of heavy karma, heavy energy inside the vessel. That'll travel with you from vessel to vessel to vessel to vessel.
Okay.
This karma. So like, say if you've had a past life where you were raped and you got pregnant and you really didn't want to have this evil person's baby, in the next life you might have problems conceiving because you've completely...
okay, that makes sense.
You just hate your womb, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your womb has done things that you didn't want it to do in the past. It's created life from evil, and you've got this horrible relationship with your womb, and that heavy karma comes with you into the next vessel. But you can be aware of it and cleanse it.
How is that done?
So many ways. You can use herbs. Combination of like physical and emotional healing of that part of the body. So like you can take herbs that are good for women, like primrose oil, rose petals. You can get essential oil made from rose petals. That's really connected to the womb. You can take tinctures and things. They're all actually available in this time now. So you can buy them from like holistic therapies. You could do ayahuasca. You could do very much cleansing, purging. Like say if a woman got a womb infection randomly and it made her vomit a lot or made her bleed a lot, then that's the body telling you that you're carrying heavy karma down there, and your body's trying to give you a message and to like heal this area, heal it. So natural treatments, things like working on the meridians, like massage to drain energies, drain the lymphs. Lymphatic massage is really important for like everybody. Spinal adjustments and alignments. Because that makes the energy and all the nerves perfectly straight, you can cleanse your karma just by, energetic therapies like Reiki, getting someone else to do it for you. It's possible. Reiki, people who do tapping, working on the meridians, these people have got this knowledge. They can help you release the karma. It'll be a heavy process. You're best off using herbs and people to help you.
It's a combination.
A combination of both. But if you decide you want to release that heavy karma, the day you decide it, your body will cooperate and it will disperse. It's all about making that decision. Don't want to carry this anymore. Help me to release it, If you want to attract someone who can help you, even just going into a trance, into hypnotherapy, if you 100% decide that you've got some karma in the womb or in the heart or anywhere in the body. Say if you had angina or a regular heartbeat, there's a lesson, something there, your body's telling you there's something there. And if you wanted to release it, you could go into a trance state with a hypnotherapist, and as long as you consent and you're ready to release that, and you don't want it anymore, it's all about the power of your own mind and soul, then a hypnotherapist can guide you into the correct level of consciousness to release that energy.
I see. So while we're speaking about in this time and place, I know a lot of people who've got this thing called endometriosis. And what's that a manifestation of? How?
It seems like a rejection of your own menses. Women have a cycle, and it's viewed upon as maybe dirty in some cultures, maybe painful, maybe uncomfortable, maybe nobody wants it to come. Oh, my period's coming. That attitude, it's a gift that you're given.
Yeah.
The reason why you would have painful, heavy periods, heavy menstruation, is because there's toxins collecting in your endometrial lining.
Yeah.
In your tissues, there's toxins. You know, tampons, they're bleached, they're full of chemicals, don't use them. Everything needs to be natural. Don't put anything inside your body that's unnatural, i.e. plastics. You know, there's a lot of abuse of the vessel that goes on. And women that have endometriosis, the lining of their womb does not grow in the right place.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't want it in the womb.
Okay.
So they have got this attitude towards their own cycle. Could be anything. Could be a past life thing. Could be that it's dirty from their culture. Could be that they just don't want to be a woman. They'd prefer to be a man or something else. You know, they don't want the cycle. So energetically, they're not allowing the womb lining to build up healthily in the normal place that your body wants it to go. They're rejecting that energetically and in their own minds, whether this is deep-rooted, subconscious or conscious. And then that tissue is building up in other places, causing pain, causing internal bleeding. And that is a decision. And I know medicine at the moment would not agree, but that is a decision that a woman is making to reject her own femininity, rejecting her actual own cycle.
Yeah.
Hatred of her own genitals. There's so many things it could be. There's so many things, but
I see.
They're actually rejecting the menstrual cycle, really, or they really don't want to have any children.
Yeah.
So, or this deep fears about having children. Maybe they want them, but they've got some real deep fears from past lives or from their mum or from their childhood. So that fear inside of your womb is making the endometrial lining needs to be there. It needs to be healthy for the egg to embed in it.
Sure.
So you've got so much fear about an egg embedding and you growing a baby that it's going in the wrong place. You're telling your body it's going in the wrong place. And it's all the pain and all the discomfort that it creates is a message. Your body's crying out, listen to me, listen to me. I'm giving you signals. The pain is a signal. Heal me, you know? Stop ingesting chemicals. Your blood needs to be healthy, you know, your actual bloodstream. So anything that you can take to cleanse the bloodstream. Stop smoking. Stop. Because the thing is, tobacco is okay. Raw tobacco is ceremonial. And, you know, can be used in ritual and all sorts of things. It's a part of the earth. It's a gift. Use it for what it's for. But if you smoke heavily processed cigarettes every day, there's chemicals, there's all sorts of bleaches and things, you know, and this all gets in the blood, and it can gather in certain areas, all the toxins and all the... Your blood isn't behaving normally, so that is also a part of endometriosis. So if you're getting those signals, you need to cleanse your blood.
Sure.
You need to work on what those blocks are in the womb space. Could be past life problems, could be fears from your own childhood. Mostly they'll be unconscious, so the only way to really sort those out is through hypnotherapy. It's the only way. It's the only way, because you can't tap into your deep subconscious. You can do self-hypnosis. You gotta really work on getting into that deep part of your brain, and unlocking what is the secret here, what is my body telling me, you know, Reiki is an energetic therapy that can help ease the pain of endometriosis, right? So you can be assisted in getting the energies flowing correctly down there, but only you can remove the actual blockage that's causing the disease. A Reiki healer can't do that for you.
Oh, I see.
Whereas a hypnotherapist could guide you to see the block and to help you, but you have to verbalise what that block is, because it's yours and yours alone. If that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. So, have you got any last thoughts for Becky before we come back to here and now?
It's all about the body. There's a reason why she's had such an intense experience of feeling this perfectly healthy body.
Mm-hmm.
In this future life, the body is working perfectly. It's hydrated, it's nourished, it's fit, it has enough exercise, it's operating just like a perfectly balanced organism, of its own. And there's a reason why she's experienced that, because this is one of the main blocks that she's got now. She'd really do well just to grow her own vegetables with no chemicals on. The problem is that in this day and age, it's really hard to get food that's not been messed with.
Sure, yeah.
It's hard for everyone. It's a cycle that humans are going to have to go through. A lot of people start growing their own food and thinking, I'm not going to spray these peppers with anything. Why would I? Because I'm going to eat them after. It's going to be a process. And I think if Becky can treat the body well and learn about natural consumption before she dies in this life, then she's not going to take any bad, unhealthy bodily karma into the next one.
Sure.
Because she's always, not always, but she's 50-50 with abusing the body with, like, chemicals, even, like, cordial. It's full of sweeteners and stuff that isn't natural. You put it in your water, you think you're drinking, but you're not really hydrating properly.
Yeah.
Try and buy, like, natural tea leaves. Try and buy... You can eat chocolate. It's a gift from Mother Nature, but get the 90% cocoa chocolate with no crap in it, no E numbers, no additives. And of course, all this is expensive.
Yes.
So it's difficult for people, which is why at the moment greenhouses, raised beds, you can make that decision to put the Doritos back and buy the organic potatoes instead of the cheap potatoes.
Yeah.
Everybody can make that decision.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much all there is from this message.
So I'd like you to integrate all of that into yourself. Now, Becky, and then just take a few deep breaths in, and every breath that you take in, you're just integrating all of those lessons and make it a part of you, just to bring it back to the here and now. Just when you're ready, only when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That was really a lot deeper than what I was expecting.